Hello Pulp Friction, my name's Beth and I've been talking to Jill about coming and doing some work with you on your compost bins and your wormeries, your polytunnel and even your paper pulping project. So I'm just going to do a little video to introduce myself and show you some of the things from my garden that I'm hoping to bring to yours.
The first thing is this wormery. My wormery looks a bit different to yours, but it works just the same. So you can see in the top I've got lots of paper and food scraps, and if you look very carefully you'll see there's a little bit of lime which helps keep the worms happy. It's tea bags, old bits of swede. Let's have a look at the second layer, which is where the worms are active. So I've put some extra wood chip on the top of this layer to help soak up some of the worm juice, but as you can see there's lots of worms in here making their way, doing their thing and creating not only the compost but also lovely worm food that you can get off the wormery by the tap at the bottom. Here's the tap. As you can see, I've got a watering can that I use to collect the juice. So I do this every week and this produces lots of lovely liquid feed that I can then use across my garden, and I store it in these milk tubs. My garden has lots of plants in pots at the moment because I've only just started splitting the plants and making the most of what I've got and laying out a new garden. So there's lots of manure ready to go in, and as you can see spring is starting to come alive, lots of green shoots coming up in the garden. And here's the very first iris that's made an appearance this year. I've also got a little tulip that's come up too. So I have an outhouse where I'm able to grow plants that need warmth. These are called propagators and they're basically a heat mat with a plastic lid. And you put your very tender plants in here, you pot them as seeds, and then gradually they start to come up. And as you can see here, tiny little green shoots are coming up. So in here I've got tomatoes, chilies, peppers, aubergines and some flowers and herbs. I've also got lots of house plants that need a bit of warmth that I keep in here. And we're going to take cuttings off house plants in the next few weeks because we're hoping to sell some. I've also got lots more plants in pots that I've taken as small cuttings. So these very colourful plants are called heucheras and they're one of my favourites. And then as we move along, the green plants here in these trays are foxgloves. They've not got their flowers on at the moment, but they'll be beautiful. And then as we move further back, these plants are known as bunny rabbit's ears, and that's because they're very soft and furry to the touch. And then my final favourite plant from my garden is this black grass. Again, it's very easy to grow and separate. And then there's more beautiful stipper grasses that blow in the breeze. I'm going to take you for a quick look in my greenhouse now. As you can see the bed in the left, there's not much going on at the moment, but that's because all those tomatoes and chilies will go in there when they're ready. And at the back of the greenhouse I've got a lemon that I've grown since it was a very young plant, and I finally have a lemon on it. I've then got some seed potatoes that will go in once the soil gets a bit warmer, and we're going to grow some of these at the polytunnel as well. I've got a little potting bench which is where I pot up some of my plants, and then I've got some garlic bulbs that are ready to go in, and then further down the bench past the seeds there's some onions that I grew last year, some propagators that are ready to go, some kale, and here's some more onions. And again, we're going to grow some of these at Pulp Friction. Outside my polytunnel, I collect rainwater from the guttering, And I'd like to set some of this up down the polytunnel to help us keep the plants moist and not have to carry water far. And then at the back of the sheds, I've got some compost bins. And again, this is my first compost bin that I'm still adding to. My second one, which has been going for a little while. And then my final bin is a bin of leaves, and this is to produce leaf mould.
So that's a quick introduction to me and my garden. I'm going to put the dates of everything on the Facebook group and also get some emails out to people. If people need kits and things to enable them to take part, we'll make sure we've got a way of sorting that out. And I'm really looking forward to working with you all. So take care, stay safe, and see you soon.